Guys, we got a new dog. Meet Fluffy. So Fluffy is about 8 years old, and he's a Pomeranian and Chihuahua mix. Um, we're not entirely sure, but that's what we think he is. Our buddy who gave him to him, shout out to you, by the way, bro. Love you, man. Um, he's full-blooded Chihuahua, but we think he's got more Pomeranian in him than Chihuahua. But yeah, he just joined the family, and if you guys want to join the family too, just make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below what your favorite kind of pet is, and let's hop right into the video. Peace. To the video. The altornox. Oh man, where to start with this thing? Okay, so this weapon is doggy doo. If you're looking to build this thing, it's probably not worth your time, especially if you're just a cash playing the game. You know, maybe 3 to 4 hours a day, a couple hours a week, something like that. This is not something that you would want to focus on other than MR Father. But we do have a build here today that is going to showcase how devastating this weapon can be when it comes to massive CC frames. Let's go ahead and take a look at our arsenal, see what we're running. First, we'll take a look at the altornox, of course. So, getting into the altornox build, we have galvanized altitude, we have continuous misery, of course, for the status duration. We have vigilante armaments, we have malignant force, almost said it twice. Rhyme rounds, of course, the extra status, just like any of the 6060s. Galvanized chamber, serration, and thermite rounds. Nothing much here that's like too crazy to explain. We are also rocking the terminal velocity just for a little bit of projectile speed, of course, for the secondary. You do not need to max this out. I repeat, you do not need to max this out. It's not even worth. But just we have it there for the 2 forma build because this thing is not worth your time than more than 2 format. Trust me, it's probably not even worth your time to format it in general. But if you are looking for something in the category of CCing, along with other frames that can armor strip, provide a lot of CC, then this might be up your alley. So, of course, going into our stats, nothing too crazy. Again, this is more for stat sticking or a primary stat functionality. We're not going to be DPSing here. It's just kind of a quality of life thing if you're playing like endurance runs or steel path, whatnot, right? Going into our primary fire, we're running gas and magnetic, and I'll tell you why here in just a minute. And then our alternate fire, we are rocking, of course, cold for extra critical, all that stuff, all those good buffs, right? Gas and magnetic once again. And then radial attack is a radial attack. Theoretically, you could put prime firestorm or firestorm on here, replace the continuous misery. But then again, it's probably not worth your time because we're not focusing on the radial attack. So what makes this so good is the fact that we now have primary abstract, right? So this thing is kind of low-key crazy. I do not have it maxed out yet, so bear with me, boys. Bear with me. But on weapon, magnetic status effect, enemies' weapons jam within 15 meters of the target, cooldown 50 seconds. Of course, this is unranked. Sorry, 60 seconds. This is unranked, so it is kind of a meh moment. Like, it's not great, but if you can max this out, theoretically, this thing should become a godsend for CCing. Hopping into our Hildren, we are running Thermal Sunder for our 1. Do not use the Bellfire. It's terrible. It's not terrible, but it's not great, if you know what I mean. For our 2, of course, Pillage, for armor stripping and extra shields, all that good stuff, right? We are using the augment Blazing Pillage for our 3 for Haven. So when we have Haven active, our Blazing Pillage will slowly burn and disintegrate armor. And obviously with Pillage, you automatically strip our enemy forces of whatever their prime points are, right? And then, of course, Age of Storm. You can only subsume one ability, so that's kind of given. But Age of Storm is kind of just here. They have it here, I guess. Like, there's nothing too crazy about it. Along with our Hildren, we have Arcane Aegis. So on shield damage, 3% chance. Of course, it's not maxed out, but 3% chance for 10% shield recharge. And then we have Arcane Barrier, which is similar, but it fully restores shields. We do have that maxed out, luckily. So on shield damage, 6% chance to instantly restore all shields, 6% or 6-second cooldown, plus 1 Arcane Revive. And I'll have a build on my Hildren later, but right now we are focused on this bad boy. What can we do to make this efficient enough to where it matters? So on top of CCing with Hildren, of course, we're going to have, theoretically, if you have the maxed out Arcane, well, we will have removing enemy weapons, stripping enemy forces, all sorts of good stuff. So they'll be practically defenseless. We have our Kuva Nukor, kind of preference at that point. Like, if you want, you could use the Lathium. You could use really anything at DPSs. I just have this for more status because this is a pure support build for Steel Path. And then for our melee, we were using the Glaive Prime. Glaive Prime essentially will help allow you to keep your distance, just in case. On top of that, stripping enemy forces, literally cutting them like butter. That said, let's go ahead and load up some corrupted heavy gunners. We will put them at level 20s. Probably could have just typed that in, but that's whatever. Alright, we'll simulate here. Alright, so theoretically we want to pop our 3 as soon as we can. So we're going to pop our 3, pop our 2, and then we're going to see if they're armor stripped. If not armor stripped, then you're going to recast, armor strip, and then you're going to pop your 1, your Thermal Sunder. And of course it takes a minute, but essentially it's good CC, and with shooting, they would be stripped of their guns. Anything within 15 meters. Of course, let me turn off my ability here. We have Lingering Gas, so that's a nice effect. Nothing too crazy. But as you can see, with very little effort, casting 3 abilities and popping the alt fire on the altornox, we have gotten them down to literally nothing. Of course, this is going to do nothing alone, but pop that. It's good CC, so if you're running in a huge squad, this is definitely a good loadout. So we'll cast our 2, and we'll cast our 1. We'll pop that. Yeah, it's doing a bit of damage. Of course, like, this is not Steel Path enemies, but you get the point. They're going to be grouped up in one area, and it's going to be easy pickings. Now, of course, our primary fire is our DPS function. You can easily shred enemies. But is it worth it? Probably not. We're playing a support class, and that works good for our teammates to do all of the heavy lifting. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and also, again, let me know what your favorite pet or animal is in the comments below. This has been The Volume, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.